Howdy everybody, and welcome back to BTD6. In this episode we're going to be doing a 2TC again. And this is one that I have been searching for. I've mentioned it a few times if you have watched some of my previous episodes, my previous videos. It is one that I've been trying to figure out for a good minute now. And that is going to be the Monarch of the Storms 2TC, using specifically Gwendolyn. And the reason why we want to use Gwendolyn for this is because there was a change that was made this patch where Druid Tier 4 top path now gets camo detection instead of Tier 5. So, I wanted to find a run that utilized the camo detection on just Monarch of the Storms, right? A 2TC where the other tower can't see any camo. And I wanted to know if that was possible. Well, we're gonna see if that's possible today. And then the first thing you gotta do, you gotta make sure you actually buy Gwendolyn here during this wave, just so that they actually level up in time and whatnot. Think that XP matters? It might not, really. It took me a lot of theory crafting and the help of one person, at least. I know other people have talked about it, I'm pretty sure. But, I got a little bit of help for actually how to get it done. We can probably go ahead and set this to remove. I think it really matters here or not, if it's right now or not. But End Zombie, if you read the comments, you've probably seen them in the comments. They helped me figure this out a little bit. We can probably get hard thorns if we're looking like we're in trouble here. Obviously we have to go the top path, and then beyond that, I think it's up to you which cross path you want to take. Personally, I prefer middle cross path, so that's probably what I'm going to do. At least that's how I solved it. I'm pretty sure the other person, they used, actually I don't know why I said I'm pretty sure. I know they used bottom path. Now, did I actually put this guy close enough? I just realized. If not, I'll be restarting this video. You won't see it, but we'll see when he does heated up if Druid is affected. He is not. Well, I placed him just a little bit too far away. Let's see if it works. I'll try it. At worst, you won't see the rest of this, right? But that's fine. Let's see. The only things you have to know is that Gwendolyn's ability does work against camo, right? It works on camo detection, or for camo detection, in the early game when you don't have camo detection. And then by the time you don't, or by the time you need camo detection, you should be able to afford it through Druid of the Storm, or whatever, whichever one, Ball Lightning. You should be able to afford camo detection through that. Right, you do have to throw this down on wave 24, which is Gwen's first ability. I don't think there's a ton of micro in this. You do kind of need to micro. Yeah, these waves. The purple waves might need a little bit of micro. But beyond purple waves and then the first couple Moabs, it shouldn't take too much micro. Alright. As you can see, it's going pretty smoothly. The next purples... What wave are they on? They might be on like wave 35. I know wave 45 and 48 can be just a little bit tricky. We can go ahead and buy Druid of the Storm here. And then Ball Lightning we'll have by wave 33. Now, this was a 2TC that is clearly very possible, right? Or I guess I know it's possible. We'll see if it's actually possible together. I think this might be okay. By the way, Gwendolyn here might still be okay at this point, because they will get a range up at some point. 32, okay. I remember when I was first trying this, you normally need to spend 80 bucks here to have better, effectively better camo detection, because you don't get access to these. Now, I'm pretty sure this is only doable on this map, unless maybe there's an expert map where, Gwendolyn can handle all the camos and stuff. I don't think there's a short enough map for that, unless Or there's a, I don't think there's a map for that, right? Unless Gwendolyn can hit, like, level 10 at a very early point and level 16 by wave 62. I don't think anybody hits level 16 by wave 62, even with, I mean, I guess you could spend money, maybe. We're on wave 37. 38, 39 shouldn't be too bad. Wave 40 is the first Moab, and on 40 you do have to use your ability. I've done a lot of this part, all the way up to wave 62 I know about. Post wave 62 is where I'm going in blind at this point. But I'm pretty sure that this will work to take out the bad as well, right? We do want to start these as early as we can, because we need these done by wave 62 as well. So we'll throw that there. I think I might have mistimed that a little bit. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say. Yeah, look at that. He already isn't within heated up range. Yeah, we might be a little bit off on our timing. That's okay. We did pop it there. You see that? Let's try this one more time. Again, timing might be a little bit off. We'll see. And then if that doesn't work, then I think we upgrade to Thorn Storm here. Is what we need to do. Yeah, let's try upgrading cross-pathing right here. Right. Middle path cross path gives you quite a bit more damage on Druid. I mean, it's like 60% more damage against the Moab. Yeah, there you go. See, that's enough. Now all we have to do is worry about wave. Ooh, let's see. So, I guess we get this on wave 62, it looks like. Assuming we start this perfectly. But I don't think we can buy anything else. Now it's purely just down to me handling the waves well. Let's see, there is wave 45, I think, has camo purples, possibly. And then wave 48 has camo regrow purples, which might need a little bit of microing. And for that matter, we might even want to set the cocktail a little bit lower, just to maybe try to pick up, yeah, wave 45 does have camo purples, but they were super easy? Okay. I've been thinking of, I know I've talked about it in a good few videos now. I've been thinking of doing some side content that isn't just Bloons Chimps videos. And by that I mean I've been thinking of doing some tier lists and possibly doing like a tips video? I don't know. Because I know I'm not actually like super good at chimps. I can do intermediate maps and I can do some expert maps, but not extreme maps really. Yep, I wasn't paying enough attention to what wave it was. The way that I did this before was I just kind of spammed my micro changing. Maybe we set you to strong or last or something. Oh, it was actually Gwendolyn that made that easier? Okay, I've never actually changed Gwendolyn's targeting for that. That made it significantly easier. The last time I did that, it took me like 5 attempts to try to solve. Okay. If you weren't watching, I just set Gwendolyn to close, which is maybe one of the first times I've ever used the close setting. Ever, I think, maybe even. So here's something I find interesting about Ball Lightning. Their Moab popping power generally isn't great, but it gets better with more balloons on screen, because Ball Lightning just does better that way. Go ahead and use this because the cooldown on it is short enough that we'll get it back by the time we need it. That lets us afford the next rock, and then by the end of wave 51, or 61, we will have the money boost. Whoops, sorry, I did not mean to pause that there. I looked away, are we actually strong enough to beat this? Yeah. Easy. Okay. And then I don't think you need to spend any money on Gwen. I could be wrong, but I get the feeling that you don't. Just because Gwen does decent damage on her own, right? Like, I think Monarch of the Storm can almost 1TC it if you could actually afford him in time. Gwen does make a pretty big difference here. It gives you just enough popping power to handle the Bat or the Moab and stuff early on. I do know the BFB can be a little tough. You'll kind of see what we need to do for that. You do need a longer map at least. I tried this on Cubism. Cubism was really close. You make it to wave 62, and then you just kind of peter out. You need just a little bit more popping power. Do we actually need to, need just a little bit more, like, non-purple popping power. And Gwendolyn's, like, 3 levels off from getting level 16. So I don't quite think that one happens either, unfortunately. I think it's only this map. I still think it's really cool, though. And this might currently be my favorite 2TC. I didn't think I would like Monarch of Storms as much as I do now. That change, I didn't think would be super important. The camo sight change. I think it's actually really good, though. Just because, like, the thing about him is he handles a lot of the normal balloons on his own. Like, all you really need is Moab popping power, right? That's a lot of what you need. You can get it through, I guess in our case, Gwendolyn. But you could get it through... I thought about trying this without Gwendolyn, but with a Dartling Gunner instead. Trying to go like a Mad with a Monarch of the Storms, if that's even affordable. It is affordable, actually. What am I talking about? The Mad is not 100k. Alright, so now we have the BFB. BFB, I might have used that ability a little too early, but we want to mostly pop him down here. We'll use the fire on him next wave, and then this should be back for the third wave around by the time the Moabs get around to us, and that should be good enough. Yeah, there you go. Woo, close. Ooh, it actually leaked. We'll try that one more time then. That was really close though. Okay. We might have gotten just a little bit more damage. Like, it's a difference of like 10 to 20 damage that could make or break this, I think. Might have popped that a little too early. Well, no. This might look worse, but it's fine. Yeah. Oh my goodness, dude. I swear this works. I think we actually got more damage that time than previously. We don't really want to pop him too quickly because we want this ability back as well, though. Right, we want to be able to use Heated Up. There we go. Got a little bit of a better split. That's all it takes. And then, ooh, at the end of, by the way, end, I guess middle maybe even, of wave 62 or 61, we should be able to afford Monarch of the Storm. That's like right at the end too. Whew, look at that. And with that, oh my goodness, we have purple popping power now. Holy cow. Pretty good purple popping power at that, huh? And this is the whole 2TC. I don't think we need to upgrade Gwendolyn at all. So it was a 74,000 2TC. So it was super cheap on top of being unique. I think it's a very unique one, right? Because that basically means to get all the way up to wave 62, any of the purple waves we had to beat had to be purely off of a 1/1 druid's abilities, effectively, right? I think that's pretty good. And yeah, it takes a little bit more practice than some of the other 2TCs because there's some micro involved and there are some unique ability timings that you don't typically see. Even, I mean, like, even for a beginner map, I think it's a pretty complex one. I think it's cool. I don't think you can afford to get this by wave 80. Actually, I know you can't. Wave 90, you have $128,000 to spend. So you'll be affording it, like, right at wave 90, I guess. Possibly. I guess that's if you hadn't spent anything else, though, right? Okay. Well, I don't think we're hitting 50k by wave 70, I guess, actually. That would be our breakpoint on that. Overall, still, a very cool 2TC, I think. If you guys want... I forgot to mention, if you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment, but do you guys have any 2TCs that you would like to see? I think that's something that's worth discussing, right? Man, I'm so glad they increased this man's damage. Did you know at one point this man did 1/10 his current damage? I think it's like they gave him a 10x damage multiplier or something like that. He used to stall constantly, but do no damage whatsoever. Which made him really strong, but just miserable to play. And I think regrows were not very... I don't know if regrows were an issue for him, actually. Probably not. Now, we could spend money on upgrading Gwendolyn. I think Gwendolyn hits level 20 anyway. So it's not a big deal. Because they're one of the base heroes. If you didn't know, the 4 base heroes that you have, Quincy, Striker, Jones, Gwen, and Oben, they all hit level 20. At least by the wave 100. There's a few others. Etienne and Sada, I believe, do as well. It means we don't need to actually spend money on him. Sheesh. So it's gonna be a little bit slow, but that's okay. I don't know. I think this is going to be the most unique 2TC I do. Just in general. I don't do a lot of 2TCs. I think they're worth learning. It shows a lot of understanding of the game, assuming you... I don't know, I guess it does. Overall, I mean, it shows an understanding of this map, I guess, for this one, right? Because you can't do it on a different map, I guess? But you can get to wave 62, and that already shows some understanding of the game that wouldn't normally be there, right? Because you run into a lot of camo balloons, and if you don't do this on this map, you don't afford the camo detection upgrade for Druid until wave 35, I think. Which means you also need to know how to beat wave 33 without camo detection. Normal camo detection, I should specify, I guess. I wonder if at this point there's any RNG tied to this though, because like the way that he attacks is really unique. The way he knocks back and how it shocks between things. I don't think it matters. This is almost a 2 mega pop as well, it looks like. I don't think it will be. I think Gwendolyn's gonna have like 100k pops probably at least. I don't know. He pushes back a lot of the balloons. Hard to say. I mean, he's getting... This is the longest wave in the game. He's getting... maybe 100 pops this wave? Maybe 200? Maybe more. Oh, actually, when he burns a Moab... Never mind. When he burns a Moab... I guess. I'm sorry. When they burn a Moab, it does a lot of damage. Okay. Yeah, so they're getting a few thousand. So it's probably not a 2 mega pop. Actually, especially not with the bad on the final wave. I think Gwen is going to be pretty integral to the bad fight. Wave 80 is going to be a little bit painful. Hopefully Gwen can help with that as well. Because, I mean, you'll see. They do decent burn damage, right? I haven't been paying attention to how much damage the Druid does. Yeah, I mean, it's hundreds of damage at it, or tens of damage per strike, I guess. It looks like 150 if the tornado actually hits as well. I don't know, I think this will be enough. The difference is, maybe, I haven't checked to see if middle path actually beats this or not. I know bottom path does. You're talking about a very small difference, but it's a 10% attack speed difference, right? So, that might matter. I don't think it will, but it might matter. 20 waves doesn't sound like a lot to get 17,000 pops, but it's very easy to get 17,000 pops in these last waves. Yeah. And I mean, I could be using abilities if I really wanted to get pops on Gwen. Probably shouldn't. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going for 2 mega pop on top of this. I've already done that once. But yeah. Do you guys prefer the 2 mega pop or the 2 TC challenge? Personally, I prefer 2 TC, I think. 2 mega pop ends up feeling very samey, I guess, right? Because there's a lot of specific towers you want to use. You want to use, like, glue strike, glue storm. You want to use camo detection with monkey sub, stuff like that, you know. You can get a few pops, then leave. You can use beast handler, they'll get some pops, and then just leave, you know. You can move them away from the track. Up to 40,000 pops. And 40,000 pops, if you don't know, that goes all the way to, like, wave 50, I think, or something at least. I know there's, it's probably gotta be at least wave 40 plus, right? So you have a long time to figure out what your strategy is and get somebody situated to do the 2 mega pop challenge, right? I know you're gonna have to worry about a few pops here or there otherwise, but this might be the second longest completion wave outside of, well, no, we've got another wave that's gonna take a while, I guess, will be the ZOMG reinforced on 97, right? Then you've got free play scaling that's a lot higher, and they're reinforced. Like, that's gonna be a lot of HP to get through. Yeah. I don't know. I think I should definitely be pushing more 2 TCs a couple times here and there. I think they do a lot better. Or maybe I'm just, you know, I think I have a lot of work to do with this channel. And I think, oh, here we go. If you want to discuss with me or talk with me ever, join the Discord. I do have a Discord server. So, and I would gladly discuss my channel, or, you know, there's like 5 people, which is very small, I'm well aware. But, you know, we actually all are active so far. We talk about the contested territories and how to fight bosses and all that jazz. We talk about strategy a lot. And I think it's kind of important. I think it's a really good thing to bounce ideas off of people, right? You know, without that, I probably wouldn't have found this. And I know it just comes down to try 3 minds round to some degree, but like, I don't know. It's one of those things I hadn't considered, you know? Having somebody else there is helpful. Yeah, there was no way this was going to be a 2 mega pop as well. Holy cow, Gwen. I think I undervalue this map a lot. Just in general. There is a lot of track time, and with the right tower, there's a lot of active time, too. I mean, look at this. Even right now, Gwendolyn's gotten a few. I should be using abilities on waves like this, dude. If I'm not worried about 2 mega pop. That is one reason why I actually went middle path instead of bottom. I want fewer tornadoes when I don't need them, right? So we can burn everything on screen again. So, what I think I've noticed about Heated Up is that it doesn't seem to affect your tornadoes, and it doesn't seem to affect your lightning. It seems to only be your physical shots. But at the same time, it does mean that I think Druid does like 50 damage to a DDT, possibly? If you hit all 8 and you do the +5 damage. You might do like 50 damage to a DDT. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, okay. Maybe Gwen is actually built to pop Moabs a little bit and stuff, huh? Didn't realize that. We are almost to the first DDTs. I think we'll see, unsurprisingly, that the first DDTs will not be very difficult. Right? they're just gonna get knocked back. I think Monarch of the Storms is really good against everything except the bad. He stalls really well and does enough damage. Right. Here we go. We'll let the Monarch of the Storm handle this. Yeah, that was very simple. There's a lot of leftover money on this run, huh? I know if you're looking at it on a normal run anyway, I mean, you would hit this by, like, wave 80 something, normally, right? 73,000, another 50,000 within the last... You might hit it by, like, mid-70s. And then we've still got another 100,000 on top of that, plus another 8 waves to go. Okay. Gwendolyn does feel like they're doing pretty good damage at this point. Let's... If you, like, do this, you'll see... I mean, like, look at that damage rack up. I really should not dismiss this when it comes to the bad. Because, obviously, Druid of the... or Monarch of the Storm cannot, They can't push back the bad. Have you noticed how many times Gwen has needed 980 to level up? I wonder if that's... That's a little odd. I've never noticed that before. 20% improved attack speed. Oh, right. I forgot that they changed Gwen at some point to buff fire or infernal towers, which I think is pretty neat. There we go. I mean, we are rich. We could buy that, but I mean, I'm not going to. I wonder if with this, I think you can survive to wave 113 because you don't have to fight another bad, right? So you could have 160k. I think you could get really far if you do this right. Right? Wave 94. It's a high damage or high HP wave. Just like Gwen, burn it all. Oh, there you go. Things are kind of slipping through a little bit, but I don't... They're really slipping through so much as... Because I think they're still on the first circle, right? Once you're down to just these guys, I mean... They can't do anything. Looks like it might be like 300k pops from Gwen, maybe? At least. You'd be surprised how many of these pops are going to come in right at the end. I guess you wouldn't be if you're watching chimps. Dude, like the majority of the difficulty of this game comes in within the last 10 waves. It's kind of crazy how many of the pops come from it. I think it's at least 3/4 of it, or at least 70%, something like that. That's a lot of pops for the last 10% of the game. Alright, Gwen can pop purples now. Check this out. It didn't really show very well, but I swear Gwen popped some purples there. Alright. The infamous DDT wave. Handled just fine. And then we got one more big rush after this one. I mean, we all know the final 10 waves. If you know chimps, those are the waves you definitely know. You know? Yeah, this is totally fine, though. Yeah, I mean, this is... I didn't realize they got so much attack speed. Firestorm does hugely increase damage. Firestorm is this one, right? I actually don't know which one's... I mean, this is Molotov Cocktail. Just look at it. I mean, it already does significant damage, I would say, so... Very nice. Honestly, for how little I use Gwen, this build made me pretty happy. And this might be one of the last times I use Gwen. I don't know. They're a very interesting starting hero to me. For chimps, at least. They give you the lead popping power you need, which is very nice. But they don't get camo detection. Not normally, at least. I guess it's good enough to be wave 23. Giving yourself an extra 10 waves to find a camo solution. And you have lead popping power. You know what? Maybe I should try Gwen more. The only downside is early game, they have such terrible range. Even late game, I mean, she gets one range upgrade, it looks like. And it might be like +5 range. It is not a lot. Wow, dude, these guys are really tanky, huh? Okay, hold on. Jeez, dude, he pushes so far back. Huh? Okay. I also thought that this run might be possible with Azili instead. And honestly, now I would definitely say so, at least on 3 mines round. The reason why I thought Azili was because her ability lets them pop, wow, 980 again, by the way, lets them pop purple balloons, right? I don't think it's enough, though, honestly. Shoo. I don't think they're circling enough. Actually, I definitely don't think they are. Oh, they are! What? Really? Okay, hold on. That's important. Maybe we need to be careful about when we pop things, right? It might be better to set it to last instead. No, first looks like it's okay, honestly. Dude, stuff just slips through. Look at that. Okay. It's not what I was expecting at all. Maybe we set you to strong instead? That doesn't seem right either. Now we can Firestorm, maybe a little bit later with a Molotov cocktail here. We'll try upgrading Gwen, I guess. Maybe the 10% attack speed does matter on this wave, huh? Instead of the little bit more Thorn Swarms. So now that I think about it, Thorn Swarm does not do a whole heck of a lot, does it? This looks better. No, it's not. Huh. Maybe we set him to last. I find last targeting to be pretty good a lot of the time. Better than you would expect. Yeah, because this keeps things funneled that way. Better. If you look at that. We do still need to burn things up, though. I think we're just getting Pierce capped, right? Oh. Okay, we'll just setting it to last. Okay. And we might not have needed to buy that for Gwen, but that's fine. An extra 1,000. Huh. Good to know. I didn't think it would be needing to set to last. I'm honestly surprised. I guess it's just due to where the tornadoes go. You knock back a lot better being set to last. Okay. As soon as the druid starts attacking, I'll heat him up. Alright, that is 1 time around, effectively, right? That's decent damage. Okay. Dude, she uses that heated up effect a lot. Okay. We get the ability back for this one. That's the 2nd time around. I think we were fine. Heat them up. Keep the buff active. And then we should see, hopefully, 1 more band-aid spawn. Okay. I think that seals it. We'll see. This is close. Because he's going to start leaving now. We need a really well-timed tornado. Ooh. Holy cow. He leaked. I don't know how much more efficient I can get than that. Right, I guess we wait till Heated Up has worn off. Oh, Heated Up doesn't wear off. Okay. Not while Gwen is attacking. Okay. Heart of Oak doesn't do anything. If that 10% attack speed makes that big a difference, dude, oh my goodness. That's crazy. We'll see. That was the 2nd time around, right? I'll just keep trying to use this ability to burn a little more. That looks better, I think? Dude, it's so hard to tell. This is a really close run, I'm realizing now. Okay. Come on. You can do it. Holy cow, we did it. Okay. Okay, that's a little tighter than I thought it was, I'll be honest. I didn't think it was that close. Very cool. I wonder if that's a difference of top or bottom path. Because, wow. That was rough. But I definitely think we get it, because once you knock him back, that's like it, right? Yeah. Very cool. And a 002 Desperado to boot. Anyway, I got a social season completion? Okay, that's very funny. Anyway, thank you very much for... Wait, I thought Chimps Mode didn't count for social seasons. Really? Like, hold on. If you liked the video, please do leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. No, okay. Perks don't work on chimps. Okay, anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.